Good day, everyone. This is Mr. Brian Bulatin again at your service. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Last week, we talked about Module 1, which is about generating patterns. So in Module 1, there were two lessons. There were two major activities that we did. The first one was we determined the terms of a sequence given the general term. The second major task was we determine the general term provided the terms of a sequence. Today, we will be talking about Module 2, which is illustrating arithmetic sequence. So there are two major activities that we will be doing here. The first one is we're going to define arithmetic sequence, and the second one is I'm going to illustrate arithmetic sequence. So what is an arithmetic sequence? That is our first question here. Stay tuned so that you'll get to know about arithmetic sequence. Now let's have these examples first. Give the next two terms of each sequence below. So I have here 5 sequences and we're going to provide the next two terms of each sequence. Let's start with number 1. The given is 4, 7, 10, 13. So what will be the next two terms? The first step is you're going to spot the pattern. 4 becomes 7. So you added 3 to get 7. Then from 7 you added 3 to get 10. From 10 you added 3 to get 13. So we need to add 3 to get 13 plus 3 is 16. Then 16 plus 3 is 19. So for number 1, we added 3. So we added 3. So that is our pattern for number 1. Let's proceed to number 2. 33, 38, 43, 48, then blank and blank. 33 becomes 38. There is an increase of 5. 33 plus 5 is 38. 38 plus 5 is 43. 43 plus 5 is 48. 48 plus 5 is 53. And 53 plus 5 is 58. So we added 5 for number 2. That's the pattern. Okay? Now let's proceed to number 3. Negative 2, negative 6, negative 10, negative 14. Okay? So negative 2 becomes negative 6. And that is possible if you have added negative 4. Negative 2 plus negative 4 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus negative 4 is negative 10. Negative 10 plus negative 4 is negative 14. Negative 14 plus negative 4 is negative 18. And negative 18 plus negative 4 is negative 22. So for number 3, we added negative 4. Now let's proceed to number 4. 198, 96, 94. Try to observe the pattern. 100 becomes 98. There is a decrease of 2. So meaning we subtracted 2 from the preceding. 100 minus 2 is 98. 98 minus 2 is 96. 96 minus 2 is 94. 94 minus 2 is 92. And 92 minus 2 is 90. Okay? Now let's proceed. So, what did we do in number 4? We simply subtract 2. Okay, we subtract 2. Let's proceed to number 5. 1/2 becomes 1. 1 becomes 1 and 1/2. 1 and 1/2 becomes 2, then blank and blank. So we could say that in number 5, we added 1/2 to the preceding term. 1 half plus 1 half becomes 1. 1 plus 1 half is 1 and 1 half. 1 and 1 half plus 1 half is 2. 2 plus 1 half is 2 and 1 half. 2 and 1 half. 2 and 1 half plus 1 half is 3. Therefore, in number 5, we added 1 half. Okay? So you have noticed that in number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, in every number, there is that constant number that we added or subtracted. We added or subtracted to the terms. And that is what we call the common difference. That constant that we added to the terms is what we call common difference. And these 5 terms here, rather 5 sequences here, the 5 sequences that I have given here are what we call arithmetic sequence. So these 5 here are what we call arithmetic sequence. Okay? So they are what we call arithmetic sequence. So what is an arithmetic sequence? In the examples that I had provided you from 1 to 5, there is that constant number that is added to the preceding term to get the next term in each of the sequences below. Like for example, in number 1, there is that constant number 3 that is added to the preceding term. So 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 3, 10 plus 3, 13, 13 plus 3, 16 plus 3, 19. So with number 2, we added a constant number 5. Number 3, we added a constant number -4. Number 4, we added, or we subtracted, or we added. It could apoy dira. It's allowable. We added -2, or we subtracted -2. Okay? It could be we added -2, or we subtracted -2 to the preceding term to get 98. 100 plus -2, or 100 minus 2 is 98 minus 2, 96 minus 2, 94 minus 2, 92, 92 minus 2, 90. And in number 5, we added 1 half. Okay? These numbers, these constant numbers that we have here are what we call common difference. So they are what we call common, maklaro? They are what we call common difference. Okay? The symbol for common difference is small letter D. So, common difference plays a very important role in these sequences, because those sequences that have common difference are what we call arithmetic sequence. Okay? So since 1 to 5 have common differences, therefore, these 5 examples that I provided you are arithmetic sequence. What is an arithmetic sequence? An arithmetic sequence is a sequence in which term after the first is formed by adding a fixed number to the preceding term. The fixed number or constant is called the common difference, denoted by D. Go? In the definition of arithmetic sequence, the very important terms there that we need to bear in mind always is the presence of a common difference. The presence of a common difference. If a sequence has a common difference, therefore it is an arithmetic sequence. And how can we get the common difference? Very simple. You are going to subtract the preceding term from the present term. Let's take this task for example. Tell whether each of the following is arithmetic sequence or not. To be able to tell whether it's arithmetic or not, we need to get the differences. get the differences. Let's start with first difference. That is d sub 1. Okay? You will have the present minus the previous. It should be that the terms that you will choose are succeeding. Okay? So, you will have 10, that's the present. 10 minus the previous, it's preceding. 4 is equal to 6. That is our first difference. Proceed to the second difference, d sub 2. 16, you have 16 minus 10 minus its preceding is equal to 6. Then proceed to the third difference. You will have 22 minus 16 is equal to 6. Are the differences the same? The answer is yes, meaning there is a common difference. Common difference. A difference that is true, or a difference that is the same all throughout. So that is what we meant by common difference. Therefore, we can say that number 1 is an arithmetic sequence. Number 1 is an arithmetic sequence. Okay? Always bear in mind that you can only get the difference of 2 consecutive terms. Hindi po pwedeng 16 minus 4. Hindi po pwedeng 22 minus 10. It should be 10 minus 4, 16 minus 10, 22 minus 16. So, 2 consecutive terms. Now, let's proceed to number 2. Second example. 50 minus 47. 50, 47, 44, and 41. What is our d sub 1? Our d sub 1 is 47. 47. So it should be the present minus the previous 50 equals negative 3. The usual mistakes of students is they will have 50 minus 47. 47 minus 44. That's very wrong. So it should be present minus previous. So what is our d sub 2 now? Our d sub 2 is 44 minus 47, and that is negative 3. Our d sub 3 is equal to 41 minus 44 is equal to negative 3. Is there a common difference? Yes, of course, definitely. We have negative 3 as the common difference. Therefore, number 2 is an arithmetic sequence. Okay. Let's proceed to number 3. What if you're given 10, 14, 17, 19, and so on? To be able to tell whether the given sequence is arithmetic or not, we need to get the differences between 2 consecutive terms. So let's start finding d sub 1. D sub 1, you will have 14 minus 10. Again, they cannot be interchanged. You couldn't have 10 minus 14. It should be 14 present minus the previous. 14 minus 10 is 4. Proceed to d sub 2. 17 minus 14 is equal to 3. Proceed to your d sub 3. You will have 19 minus 17 is equal to 2. Do we have a common difference? The answer is no. We don't have a common difference because the differences are 4, 3, and 2. Therefore, number 3 is not an arithmetic sequence. So let's proceed now to number 4. The given is 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on. So our d sub 1 would be 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Our d sub 2 is 8 minus 4, which is equal to 4. And then this sub 3, you will have 16 minus 8 is equal to 8. There is no common difference, therefore, it is not an arithmetic sequence. Wow. More examples of this activity will be provided in a separate video. So please check part 2 of this video. Thank you.